Hey, how are you all doing? Today I'm super excited because I'll be making some adorable paper crafts. A cake, 2 Cinnamoroll mini bags, and a sushi box with tiny sushi inside. But listen, I have to warn you, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I always say, oh, this will be quick. And before I know it, 3 hours have passed because I kept fixing tiny details. Does anyone else do this? Or is it just me? Have you ever noticed how food always looks tastier in drawings than in real life? Like, anime cakes always have that perfect shine, the frosting dripping so beautifully. But when we buy one in real life, it looks like it had a rough day. One time, I saw a cake that was so perfect in a shop window that I stood there admiring it for minutes, until I realized it was plastic. Yes, I almost bought a fake cake. Have you ever had a moment like that? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of cakes, if you could create your dream cake, what would it be? I think I'd make a huge Cinnamoroll cake with blue and white frosting. Do you guys have a favorite dessert? I feel like mine changes every week. One day, I'm obsessed with chocolate cake. The next, I want strawberry shortcake. But if I could design my dream cake, it would totally be a huge pastel blue and white Cinnamoroll cake. Maybe with little edible clouds on top? Now I'm hungry. I think cakes have a secret power. They can hypnotize people. Have you ever noticed how whenever there's a cake in the room, suddenly everyone just stares at it like it's the main character of a movie? And there's always that one person who says, "It's too pretty to eat." Like, I totally understand, but at the same time, I really want to eat it. And don't even get me started on birthday cakes. There's always that dramatic moment when the person cutting the cake takes forever because they don't want to ruin it. And then boom, the first slice is cut, and suddenly, everyone is fighting for the biggest piece. Oh, and have you ever been to a party where the cake looks amazing, but when you finally eat it, it's dry? Like, it looks like a fluffy dream, but then it tastes like cardboard. False advertising. That's why I always appreciate a cake that's both beautiful and delicious. Okay, unpopular opinion. The best part of a cake is not the frosting. I know. Some people love the thick, sugary icing, but I'm all about the soft, fluffy cake inside. If there's too much frosting, I have to scrape some off because it's just too sweet. But you know what's worse? When a cake looks super soft and moist, but then it turns out to be dry. That's the biggest betrayal ever. It's like when you order a dessert at a restaurant, and the picture looks amazing, but when they bring it to you, it's way smaller than expected. Has that ever happened to you? Also, what's your go-to cake flavor? I feel like everyone has a strong opinion on this. Some people love chocolate cake, but others think it's too heavy. Then there are people who only like fruity cakes, and others who think fruit and cake should never mix. Personally, I love strawberry shortcake. But if you give me a slice of matcha cake or red velvet, I won't say no. Next up, I'm making these tiny Cinnamoroll bags. I don't know why, but I feel like Cinnamoroll has the calmest energy ever. He looks like he lives in a cozy, cloudy day, sipping tea and listening to soft music. I wish I had that energy instead of chaotic. I need 5 cups of coffee energy. But real talk, who is your favorite Sanrio character? I feel like my personality is a mix of Hello Kitty and Kuromi. Some days I'm all cute and organized, and other days I'm total chaos. I love how Sanrio characters all have such unique aesthetics. Like, my Melody is all pink and soft, while Kuromi has a bit of an edgy vibe. If you could create your own Sanrio character, what would they be like? Maybe a bunny that loves stargazing? Or a sleepy cat that drinks bubble tea all day? Oh, and I have to ask, did you ever go through a Sanrio obsession phase? Because I remember going into a Sanrio store once and wanting to buy everything. But in the end, I left with just one tiny keychain because everything was expensive. It was a painful experience. Speaking of collections, do you guys collect anything? Because I think collecting cute things is so fun, but at the same time, it's dangerous for my wallet. Every time I see something adorable, my brain just goes, you need this. And suddenly, I have a growing collection without even realizing it. Like, at first, I told myself, I'll just get one plushie. Just one. No big deal, right? But then that one plushie looked lonely, so I got another one, and then another, and before I knew it, my bed was covered in plushies. And the worst part, I can't bring myself to get rid of any of them because each one has a story. Like, oh, I got this one on a special day, or this one was a gift. So now they just take over my room, and I have zero regrets. But plushies aren't my only weakness. Stationery is another dangerous black hole for me. I see a cute notebook, I buy it. Do I have a use for it? No. But it's cute, so I might need it someday, right? And don't even get me started on stickers. I hoard them like they're rare treasures, but then I never use them because I don't want to waste them. Please tell me I'm not the only one who does this. Oh, and don't even mention blind boxes. Those mystery toy boxes that give you a random character, they're so addicting. The excitement of opening one and not knowing what you'll get, it's like a mini adventure. But then of course you don't get the one you wanted, so you try again and again, and before you know it, you spent way too much just chasing that one rare figure. So what about you? Do you collect anything? Plushies? Figures? Stickers? Or are you one of those people with amazing self-control? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. Alright, time to make this tiny sushi box with sushi inside. I don't know why, but mini food is the cutest thing ever, even if you can't eat it. But let me tell you something. The first time I tried sushi, I was so confused. Like, I had seen it in pictures, I knew people loved it, but when I actually took my first bite, my brain just froze. I expected something completely different, and I remember thinking, wait, why is this cold? I was so used to warm food that eating cold rice and fish just didn't make sense to me at first. And the seaweed? Oh my gosh, I was not ready for the texture. But then, after a few bites, I started noticing the little details, the way the rice is slightly sweet, how the fish is super soft, the little crunch from the veggies, and suddenly, I was like, wait a minute, this is actually really good. But here's the thing, when I first tried wasabi, and no one warned me, they just said, oh, it's like a little spicy sauce. A little spicy. I took a big bite, and for a second, I thought I was seeing the universe. My nose was on fire, my brain shut down, and I was just sitting there like, help. Ever since that day, I've learned to respect the wasabi. Just a tiny bit is enough. And I know there's always this big debate. Team, I love sushi versus team, I will never eat raw fish. Which side are you on? Because I swear, there's no in between. People either love sushi with all their heart or they're like, nope, not happening. And you know what's funny? I know so many people who say, I don't eat sushi. But then when you ask them what they mean, they're like, oh, I only eat California rolls. Like, that's still sushi. And then there are people who refuse to eat raw sushi, but love deep-fried sushi rolls. It's the only kind of sushi they will accept. Honestly, I get it. Deep-fried sushi is so good. But at that point, is it even sushi anymore? Or is it just tempura in disguise? Oh. And let's talk about chopsticks. Be honest, do you guys use them correctly? Or do you just stab the sushi with one like a tiny fork? Because when I first started eating sushi, I struggled. The sushi kept slipping. I dropped it like 5 times, and eventually, I just gave up and used my hands. No shame. Also, have you guys ever tried dessert sushi? It's basically sushi but made with fruits, cake, and chocolate instead of fish and rice. I saw it once at a bakery, and my brain just went, I need to try this. They had little sushi rolls made of sponge cake and strawberries, nigiri, made of marshmallows and mango slices, and even sashimi, made of jelly candy. It was the cutest thing ever. I think I should try making one someday, but knowing me, I'd probably get sugar everywhere. Like, I'd start with a clean kitchen, and 5 minutes later, there'd be frosting on the ceiling, chocolate on my face, and a big mess on the counter. But honestly, it would be worth it. Have you guys ever tried making creative desserts? Maybe I should do a challenge where I turn random foods into something cute. Like, what if I made a Hello Kitty-themed sushi? Or a kuromi dessert? If you have any fun ideas, let me know. I might try them in a future video. Okay, but let's talk about something important. Have you ever had a food that looked too cute to eat? Because I have this problem all the time. Like, imagine you order a super adorable cake shaped like a little bear, and then suddenly, you have to cut it. The guilt is real. It's like, no, I can't hurt the little guy. But at the same time, cake is cake. And I really love cake. This happened to me once with a bunny-shaped mochi. It was so tiny, soft, and round, just sitting there looking perfect. I stared at it for a full minute, trying to convince myself to take a bite. But then, when I finally did, I made the mistake of biting off the ear first. It felt like I had committed a crime. And don't even get me started on character macarons. I once had a set of Sanrio-themed macarons, and I was just sitting there like, how am I supposed to eat Hello Kitty's face? And it's not just desserts. Have you ever seen those super aesthetic bento boxes where the rice is shaped like a cat, the veggies are arranged like flowers, and there's a tiny panda made of seaweed? I swear, they look more like art than food. I feel like if I had one, I'd just stare at it for an hour instead of eating. And then the moment I take one bite, the whole design falls apart. Oh! Speaking of cute food, have you ever tried making something artistic with your meals? One time, I tried making pancakes in fun shapes. It did not go well. I wanted a perfect heart-shaped pancake, But instead, I got this weird blob that looked like a potato. And then I tried making a cat-shaped one, but somehow, it ended up looking more like a bat. But hey, it's the effort that counts, right? So tell me, what's the cutest food you've ever seen? And were you able to eat it? Or did you just take pictures and admire it like me? Let me know in the comments. And that's it, guys. Today we made a cake paper craft, 2 Cinnamoroll mini bags, and a sushi box with tiny sushi inside. And honestly, I love how they turned out. Tell me, which one was your favorite? I'd love to know. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It really helps me keep making cute content for you all. See you in the next video. Hugs and bye-bye.